it seemed like everybody want to be a boss these days. Everybody want to be a boss till it's time to pay out, you feel me? Till it's time to pay that boss cost. They ain't trying to have them tough conversations. Ain't trying to put in them extra hours, catching that windfall money, dealing with folks not being consistent. Don't get me started on the lack of sleep, but you know what they say.
Boss Life, BOSSFEST, Bossfest Podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right. BOSSFEST, the Bossfest Podcast. They might make you laugh, make you mad, make you cry. Either way it go, it's a vibe. Tune in, catch the topic, get the tea. Ain't no shallow waters over here, we get deep. You sensitive, easy to offend, you need to flee. But them tough conversations gonna be happening. Bossfest Podcast, they hold it down. Wednesday, 7 Eastern, man, it's going down. Tell a friend to tell a friend and y'all gather round. Get active in the comments, don't get lost in the crowd.
Hey, what's happening? It's your man DJ Bush. I had to show love to Kevin and Edwina Bossfest Butler. Y'all know what time it is. The Bossfest Podcast. But you already know what we live in.
Boss Life. BOSSFEST, Bossfest Podcast. Each and every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, guaranteed to get you right.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome again to another edition of the Bossfest Podcast. How y'all doing today? I am Kevin.
And I'm Edwina. And Kevin is looking for something weird.
I am. I can hear it on your side.
Boy.
Life be life. No,
sometimes you just got to prepare. Like if you have a craft, you got to prepare to be successful.
I feel you. I know what it is. I just don't see it. I think it's the headset. I don't even know where it's at.
Oh my.
Listen, man. Everything can't be perfect. You know, you try to do your best.
Everything can be perfect.
No, everything can't be perfect all the time. So, can we strive for perfection? Absolutely. Everything it's not going to always be perfect. We do the best we can. So, listen, before we get distracted on that stuff, I would ask you how your day going, but you just going to give me energy right now. So.
And is.
You had me your camera angle wrong, but you mad about.
Bro, what's the topic today? Let's people getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Right, people
like
getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Already started.
No,
you trying to put me in like a little space. So
I'm not trying to put you in this
topic
thing.
is
Like stop just jumping and stuff. Why don't we engage the audience and have an actual dialogue once? I think the people want to know, a little bit about us. Because we had an exciting weekend. We went to Classic. We cheered on BCU. Band killed it. Was a great football game.
There's a lot of debate about the Classic in that particular situation.
What is that a debate? BCU killed it. There is no debate.
I think it was a really great game for sure. Really exciting game. I'm glad I went, and I definitely think both bands did a great job. But BCU, it was like a continuation from last year, and it was exciting to see that they did that. And
no, it was definitely exciting. Last year when we went to go do it, it was as our child was getting ready for college, deciding on what university they would go to, and this year being accepted into BCU, seeing it from that dynamic, it was just great. I tell you, the driving back and forth between Daytona these past years has been crazy. Between the storm, the Classic, and everything else, it's just been wild. Then we got to drive her back after Thanksgiving just to bring her back a week later. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if it's any other parents out there dealing with this drama, this situation. But man, these college kids, it's something unique. I swear. You ain't got nothing.
I mean, the college kids is unique. I don't know what you want me to say to that. They
unique. Engaging, like that's engage with people. Like, give them something. Not just jump to the top. But jump. We do what we can. See, listen, I just want y'all to know it don't beat your boy. I be trying, but we just gonna wear our frustration regardless of the situation. You know what? That's crazy. In business, things happen all the time. You got to pivot. But if I'm the cause of the situation, there is no pivot. It's always
I don't have
direct
no
energy.
issue with you not having a thing.
I don't even know where it's at. I can't even
Okay, so I'm just waiting for you to
get to the
get in
topic.
topic. Yep.
So whatever. Today's topic is who you invite to Thanksgiving. Of course, Thanksgiving is tomorrow. The reasons we celebrate Thanksgiving have, I ain't gonna never say they change, but the narrative around Thanksgiving has definitely shifted from pilgrims sailing the ocean and landing in America and
Oh
all
my
that
God.
crap. So we know that that's a lie, but we'll let that play out for another day. But the concept of Thanksgiving, preparing a meal.
I know who I'm not going to invite to Thanksgiving, and that's your ass.
Bringing in
Like,
friends and
what
family.
is this conversation that you keep trying to have? The pilgrims.
I was just breaking down the narrative,
the
history of Thanksgiving. What is wrong with providing?
Nobody asked you for the history of Thanksgiving, bruh.
Sometimes you got to put context.
This is not middle school where we dressing up and you're going to be a pilgrim or Indian and you're going to come and sit at the table. That is not what this is.
I wasn't even that special. I was just a tree.
I mean, I just don't you giving tree vibes right now. I just want you to understand.
So I'm not being invited to your Thanksgiving, right?
At all.
Why is that?
Because you are boring the hell out of me with whatever the hell it is you are talking about. So we're talking about the topic is so that I understand who's not invited to Thanksgiving.
Who said?
I'm asking you.
The topic is watch who you invite to Thanksgiving.
Watch who you invite to Thanksgiving because the enemy is invited to Thanksgiving.
I don't see that's why we having a conversation. We want to be able to explain this to people. Watch who you invite to Thanksgiving. And the reason why I'm trying to explain it, if you would just let me get there, is this.
I didn't know you were explaining it and getting
because
there.
Thanksgiving is one of those times when we let our guards down.
And in 1932, go ahead.
Show over. I swear. Listen.
You ain't got to say. I packed this shit up.
I'm just saying, like, during this time of year, this is when people become, more accepting, more forgiving, more, welcoming and things of that nature. But this seemed to be one of those times. This is that time of year where, people do a lot of scamming. You invite people that you typically would interact with, or
people inviting people that they don't interact with to their Thanksgiving table.
I think for some people, Thanksgiving can be a very traumatic experience, and it can play on different fronts. So let's say that you were somebody who was a victim of some type of abuse as a child or something, and now you got to entertain this thought of going to a family member's house, and you may see this particular person, whether they part of the family or not, but they always seem to show up around Thanksgiving time. I just think that can cause unnecessary drama, because if you holding on to something from a past and stuff, you know what this person did to you, and you're like, man, damn, now I just got to look at this individual in my face. It's a crazy thing. And then if you're the one who takes over like the family tradition or the family dinner, and then you have to invite these people into your house,
why do you have to do that? What are you talking about?
What you mean? What I'm talking about?
You got to invite the uncle that molested children into your house because you took over. I'm just using it as an example. You said that you could be molested or something, so it was traumatic. If I take over Thanksgiving, why do I gotta invite Uncle Willie over?
Because everybody gonna say, why ain't nobody invite Uncle Willie? Y'all know Uncle Willie over there at the house. Somebody go bring Uncle Willie.
I don't think we do that anymore. I think
just
that's
you don't do that. Don't mean that doesn't.
No, I just think in today's society, we stop as a whole. We have stopped accepting those things, and we have stopped being quiet. There's
nothing in history that says that we have stopped accepting those
Why
things.
does it need to be in history? I'm just saying collectively, I feel like the millennials came together and said, we are no longer being quiet and accepting the Uncle Willies or making our kids hug people that they don't feel comfortable with, making them go to places that they don't feel comfortable with. Ain't no sitting on no laps no more. None of that stuff. I just think collectively we had a meeting and we said we don't do that.
Okay, whoever had this meeting with you and didn't tell everybody, sure, I get it. So you believe there was some imaginary meeting, and now all of those things are done with. So, all right. So, what about those friends? Since you just want to just run past that one,
I'm not running past it. I'm just thinking that
you are.
I just think that we don't necessarily accept that same behavior. But you're saying watch who you invite to Thanksgiving.
Right.
I guess I don't necessarily agree with that particular piece as a whole because I just don't think that that's a current statement.
I started off there, but you just want to go, okay.
No,
So-
I just mean in general. I
No,
mean
no.
in general.
How do you feel about this? So that way I'll play off of your assessment of this instead
You don't
of
have to get frustrated.
Absolutely. I
I'm
can become
saying as a
frustrated.
whole, we're saying watch who you invite to Thanksgiving.
Yep, you go.
I think as a whole, people are now trying to protect their peace. So I
Okay.
don't think as a whole that we're in that space where it's inviting people who you should not surround yourself with to your personal space. I don't think we're inviting those people anymore.
You say that, but there's no real context behind it. We just don't invite. That's a lie. We entertain certain people. Thanksgiving is just a metaphor. So the whole thing is that now I'm putting myself in a vulnerable situation. I'm investing myself in my energy. So think about it from a business perspective. So I'm running a business. Now I'm looking to grow and expand this business. My business is now what I'm going to give it as Thanksgiving. So now I'm looking to bring in people who I think can help me grow and expand my business. I'm going to bring them into my circle, ask them questions and things of that nature. I don't know what ulterior motives they got or things they're going to play in that nature, but I'm opening myself up to this because I believe that there might be some value in it. Same thing with Thanksgiving. You open up your home to people, whether it's family, whether it's friends, sometimes it's even strangers. You may open up your space to people to find out that, man, damn, these people shouldn't have never been in my space in the first place, right?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that it can be the same thing, like, basically it's who you're inviting to your table, whether it's Thanksgiving or it's not Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And what I'm saying, so if I separate the two things, what I'm saying as far as Thanksgiving and opening up your home, I think nowadays, and I can only speak for people I'm surrounded, right? Like the circles that I'm in. I think people are now protecting their peace a little bit more. So people aren't necessarily allowed inside your home unless you feel comfortable that they are for you. But let's say now you try to open that up and you're talking about business. I think we talk about this particular part of the topic a lot, where you invite people to your table and you think that you can break bread with them, you can share and you can grow together. And then you find out that we're not on the same playing field. I think that's just that part is in life in general. Like that's like saying like a woman who thinks that somebody is their friend, but really they are not for them. They're really jealous of them, but I mean, snakes hide in plain sight.
Oh, I got you. So with that dynamic, I swear. Hey, when you're doing a show, you got to keep running. So in that dynamic, that does make sense, right? So I think of it this way, right? I think of it differently. I'm looking at this time of year is that when we become more accepting to inviting people in our space, our personal space, whether it's through, friendships, through dinner plans, business plans, whatever. Thanksgiving is a reflection of me at that time where you're more likely to invite somebody into your space, into your area, that you typically wouldn't, just because you don't want to be seen difficult or anything like that. But I just feel like this is that time of year where we let our guard down, and I'm telling you, this is the time of year when we should just have our guard up even more, because this is when the snakes creep out. Right?
So, I mean, and that's the part of what you're saying that I'm saying I don't agree with. I
Okay.
think snakes are snakes all the time. So you saying that Thanksgiving is now a particular part of the year that now we're more vulnerable, I guess, because we want to give now, like we want to be giving at this part of the year. I think people are hiding in plain sight 24/7. So just watch out for the snakes, not necessarily whether it's Thanksgiving or not. But what I would say as far as Thanksgiving is I do find that there are a lot of people who do pretend to be more giving at this time of year. Like everybody is doing it for the book, in my opinion. We giving out this, we doing this, we supporting this and whatever. Why do we only do that at Thanksgiving? I always find that to be crazy. I'm like, dang, people are not in need the other months of the year, but they are fed and full in Thanksgiving.
Wait, so you mad about the people that's giving out turkeys and
I'm not
passing plates
mad
out?
about it.
I
It
don't
just
know.
feels like it's very plentiful right now, as though like they don't need it all the time.
Because this is that time of year, which we're kind of alluding to the same thing, but we can't see each other's point of view. This is that time of year where you're more giving, you're more thinking about that person or those people. So you're more like, oh man, let me go feed the homeless around this time of year, right? You could have fed them in July. You could have fed them in February. That ain't the season. This is the time, this is the season where you're more like, hey, let me give more of myself. Let me put it more out there so that people can so I can be a blessing to others. And not think this is that time where it's like, hey man, you don't want people taking advantage of you. And I think about, people used to, those family, and we ain't got to go deep with it. Let's stay surface level. Think about those people that you just invite, those real family members who you invite to your house. You be like, hey, I'm cooking for Thanksgiving. Bring something very simple, right? They can't even bring nothing simple, or they don't bring nothing, but they want to walk out with 20 to-go plates stacked to the ceiling. They want to do all this other stuff.
I
So they
just think
want
that's
like they
normal
want to
black
take from.
people behavior,
I
though.
maybe we should stop that behavior. Like, you taking from me. I invested the time, the
So let
energy,
me
and the
ask you
finances
this,
behind
because you
something.
came up with this topic and you're talking about people like watch who you invite for Thanksgiving.
That's the topic.
So where have you been burnt, or like what has happened to you that makes you feel so passionate about watch who comes for Thanksgiving? Because obviously I feel like this is coming from a traumatic place.
Why you think everything is coming from a trap? Anything I talk about doesn't mean it's trauma behind. All I'm stating is
I want to know
I
who
took
affected you.
nothing. I took the theme. I said, ooh, here's a topic. We're gonna play around in business. It's Thanksgiving. All right, let's go with some wordplay and figure some stuff out. How can we look at certain things? Have there been things in business, whether they are 9 to 5 business or an entrepreneur business? I'm like, man, you know what? I may not, but I may never do anything with these individuals again. Sure, why not? But
Okay, so you're saying that nobody's ever affected you to where you're like, I shouldn't be sharing or inviting you to my table. That's never happened for you.
has it happened to you?
Yeah, it 100% has happened to me.
Then let's
So that's
go.
why I'm asking you. Like, I have definitely had people. I mean, you could take Thanksgiving out of the equation.
Okay.
I'm a female. Like, I've definitely had people who I thought were for me and who were friends, and you invite them to whatever it may be, and they turn out not to be that. Like, and it's very, like, it's a heartbreaking type of feeling when you think somebody is for you and you want to like grow and support each other, or you want to support at least, to find out that that's not why they're in it, or they are like a fake friend, for instance. So, yes, I definitely have had that happen. I've had it happen in more times than I want to count. So now I'm asking you, has it happened to you? And you like, oh no, nah, I just made up the topic because the topic sound good, and nobody's ever like did anything to me. I'm like, come on, let's be for real. If you want to talk about it, let's be for real.
So obviously you want to go on a deeper plane. So let's go deep. I'm gonna play off for you. So you saying that there's been these examples. So let's go. Give me an example if you don't mind.
An example of what? Of someone I thought was cool with me who like hurt me? I mean, what is the example that you're looking for?
Any example you wish to provide.
Any example I wish to provide?
Right.
You know what? Let me provide an example then. I thought that like had a connection with this guy. We was really cool. And I invite him to my table and I'm like, man, we gonna grow and we gonna build something together. And then he bring me on this podcast and make this stupid ass topic and then don't got nothing to say. How we feel about that?
You know what? This is why you got to watch who you invite to Thanksgiving.
This is
right?
why you got to watch who you invite to
Because
Thanksgiving.
Somebody prepared the meal, prepared the table, did all the stuff, laid it all out, and now you got an ungrateful individual upset with you because they feel like you hadn't done enough for them to be valued. Got it. Understood. So we're going to play in that space then. So since we here, I guess we just live in here for the remainder of this show.
No, so I'm actually asking you questions about who you're saying watch who you invite to Thanksgiving.
Yep.
People sometimes have open invites to whatever it is.
Open invites. There you go.
And what I'm saying to you is in my opinion, I think that could be an older generation that does that.
I don't think that's the case. So play in that space, open invite. So you're doing something, you're preparing a meal. You're saying, hey, cousin such and so come to the house. But cousin such and so shows up to the house with 3 other people and be like, oh man, is it cool that my boys come? In that moment, you can't be like, no, I didn't tell you to bring these extra people. Da, 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 da. Typically what you say is, oh, it's cool. They ain't got no place to eat. That's fine. Tell them to come in. So in that moment, you inadvertently invited people who you don't know into your spot, to your house. They may play the part like, oh man, thank you for letting us get a meal.
Isn't it a thing where they say like when people come into your house, like they bring like spirits or something, or like some energy?
You went to some other space.
I don't know. I have heard that before.
You
must
have heard that from your TikTok news because I don't even know where you're going now.
I'm just saying that they say people bring energies into your space.
Fair enough. Energy is transferable from people. So you bring some unknown people into your space and their energy could transfer into you. Got it.
Yeah, you trying to like hate like as though you've never heard somebody say like, I don't let anybody come to my house because like I don't know what kind of energies they got.
Not hating
like people say
that
all the time.
I'm not hating on it. You just went to some energy transference. So I thought we was actually
I mean, because you said Pookie and them is coming over to the meal. Pookie and them don't got no place to eat. Come on, baby, let's get a plate. I just feel like that's an older generation. I've heard that before. I've been to places where so-and-so be like, oh, that's your friend, them, just tell them to come on. So yes, we've experienced that. I'm just saying, I guess at the age that I am now, I don't think it happens as much. That's all I was saying. And it could be that I just don't know them people.
I just think you don't do stuff like that. Every conversation I hear with people talk about this, hey man, I'm doing something with the family. We at the house. Such and such showed up with these people. Like there's countless stories of people
bringing such and such.
Well,
then you know of countless stories of such and such. And all I know of is people going to their certain thing. This is what we do, and it's an exclusive invite. I don't know of a person's house I could just roll up to and they not know me and be like, "Come on, let's get a plate." I don't know of that.
So I think there's many opportunities. So if you was like, hey man, I ain't got nowhere to eat for Thanksgiving, and a friend say, hey, well, I'm going to my people's house. You want to travel with me? Then yes.
And they don't got a phone beforehand and say, hey, just so you know, I'm bringing this person with me. They could just be like, home, get in the car. It's going to be cool.
Maybe they think it's just going to be cool. And which is why they show up to your house like, hey, I hope you don't mind. My homeboy ain't had nowhere to go, or my homegirl ain't had nowhere to go, and I wanted them to come get something.
The cost of stuff is too high. We can't just be rolling up to people's stuff. Like bring a plate, not a plate for you to put 4 paper over. Bring like something to the table.
And I was trying to go on that area, like, hey man, even them people that you know who's showing up, but they showing up with empty hands, but leaving with full plates, with a P, plural. plates.
Yes, I don't think that should be the move these days, because I think, times are hard for everyone, and I guess I shouldn't say times are hard for everyone. The groceries is high for us all, so add to. And I think that's with anything though, like any situation that you're in, add value to it. Don't just take. So I mean, I think it can be applied universally. If you're going somewhere, add value to where you are, and I think you'll get so much more from the situation if you go into it thinking about what I can add instead of what I can take.
All right, then shit. On a lighter note, how many plates is it okay to take from the house?
From my house?
No, okay, your house.
Oh, from my house, you get one plate.
One plate, and one regular plate and a dessert plate.
Yeah, you get one of each, a regular plate and a dessert plate.
How can they stack that plate?
I mean, I guess you have to be pretty dang on creative, but I mean, in all honesty, it depends. I have a difference. Like in my thought process is Christmas and Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving ain't as serious for me as Christmas. So you could get away with a lot more food stacking in Thanksgiving, but I'm very serious about my Christmas.
Why is that?
Because my desserts are more expensive and delectable. They are, it's an array of those. Don't take all my desserts because I plan on eating those at certain points throughout the day. I probably have started eating my desserts from when I woke up that morning. But
you can't get these same desserts during Thanksgiving?
You can, but I don't.
Okay.
So you asking about my thought process.
I got you. I asked about you.
The spread is also a little bit more at Christmas. I tend to like Christmas a little bit more than Thanksgiving. So I'm just saying you probably could get away with maybe a plate and a half at Thanksgiving. I'm going to be watching you very closely at Christmas because I plan to eat several times in that day. I am very happy at Christmas and I am eating all day.
Gotcha.
That's my perception on it.
All right. So anybody coming to our house for Thanksgiving, let us know. If you're not invited, you ain't getting past the door. We don't care how hungry you is.
I mean, for our house, that's crazy. Like people don't even know where we live. So and that's the thing that I'm saying. Like a lot of people can't be like, oh, whatever, because I just think the world is different nowadays.
And I don't think it's that different at all. I believe that we still have some of those values. Some of us just don't have some of us don't live in a large family capacity to play in that space.
So I guess that's true. Like, so for me, I don't have like a huge family to where that applies to me. So maybe that's why I don't understand what it is you're talking about.
Right.
But I will say this to say, like, I can understand where people are like, hey, come on, or whatever. I am just more of a safeguarded type of person. And I guess I say that because I said earlier, like people have burnt me before. So everyone can't eat at my table. And I think a lot of times now people are protecting themselves because people who you think are cool or who are friends are, wolves in sheep clothing. So watch yourself. Don't invite everybody to your table.
Gotcha.
So what you cooking for Thanksgiving?
What you allowing me to cook? So, listen. So Thanksgiving for us has always been a struggle, right?
I don't think it's been no struggle. But what you talking about?
Definitely been a struggle, and it's been one of those things where I would rush home from work and I'll try to unwind for a bit, but now I got to cook all my stuff all the way late night, early in the morning, with very minimal sleep. Everybody eat, and I kind of pass out on the couch, right? So I'm trying to do something different. But the meals that I'm preparing is preparing the greens. I'm doing a potato salad. I'm doing, what else am I doing? Oh, I'm frying the chicken. I feel like I'm doing something else. I can't remember. Can't think of it right now. But
you gonna warm up the rolls.
Hey, that is a very important job.
You will stir the sweet tea.
That is another important job. You is not finna devalue the
You
importance
will
of these
watch
jobs.
the water boil for the rice. Like, see how your jobs coincide with, like you will roll up the napkins so that way you can stick the fork and the spoon and knife inside so it looks nice. Like, you have very important duties for Thanksgiving. You will ensure that we have gotten the correct amount of bags of ice from the store.
I don't want to play in this space with you. You just a hater, bruh.
I was trying to think of how many push jobs I did.
Like,
I was on a roll though.
like, why is
I was on
why
a
is your
roll.
hate so powerful tonight?
You will be in charge of pouring the alcohol into the... All right, I'm done.
You ain't funny.
I felt like it was funny.
You the only one laughing.
It was funny to me, hell.
I swear. So
but no, so that's it. You got greens,
potato
chicken.
salad, chicken.
Yeah.
Okay. Those are my. And what are you cooking?
Everything else.
What is everything else?
I don't really know about the list, but what I do know I'm excited for is that we, like, in this year, people that are coming to Thanksgiving, because you're right, like, like we've had family and things like that who have come. I want to chill. I just feel like it's been a very, like, moving season. Does that make sense? Like, we've been on go, and since the time change, I feel like I haven't caught up with sleep. So I'm excited to be able to just relax for the day. So I don't got to dress up. You know how you had to dress up for Thanksgiving? You got to put on the clothes and the fit and look nice to be in a living room and, like, chit chat with people. I'm happy I don't have to do that. I'm gonna wear a bonnet and some sweatpants all day. That's what I'm excited.
Pretty much what she says, that ain't nobody coming over here. It's just the family. The people that live under this roof, maybe one or two more people. Ain't nobody coming to our house this year because we are watching who we invite to Thanksgiving.
Again, so I'm excited to be able to really relax. To be quite honest, for me, Thanksgiving for us this year is really a transitional period. I think Thanksgiving, so I feel like the topic shouldn't be watch how you sit at your table, but be thankful for the things that you've had.
It can be all that.
So it is going to be all that, because that's what I'm about to change it to.
Okay, go ahead.
So I feel like as I look back on 2024, I was saying this the other day, it feels like it's been 2 years to me. Like, we have packed so much stuff into this year. When I think about it, I'm like, damn, that was still 2024 we did that. So I'm very thankful for those things. I'm thankful that I get to rest, and I'm excited for what's to come, because I feel like this month and, December is still a transitional period for us. I think there's a lot of moving pieces and a lot of changes that are happening for your personal and business. And it's important for us to now say, not necessarily like watch who we invite to Thanksgiving, but watch who you move, or like you make moves with. And the people who we are now making moves with, I want them to understand, like, it's very personal for us and it's very special. But this is a transitional period for us. And I think there's some amazing things to come. And I'm using Thanksgiving to think back on 2024 and be blessed for what we've been able to do so far, and look forward for the amazingness that's to come.
I guess that's key. This is that period where, you start reflecting on the things you're thankful for, you're grateful for in that endeavor. I am thankful for all the opportunities that have presented themselves to me to grow as a person, a man, a father, a husband, in those ways. I'm also thankful and grateful.
You went to therapy this year.
I actually went to therapy. I did 5 sections before they said, now you got to really pay.
But it was the Bossfest audience that suggested you do some therapy session, and you really did that.
I did.
So, I mean, yes, you did 5 sessions, but I don't think you should knock it. You still did it.
I'm not knocking it. So I'm thankful for, opening myself and exploring new things. I think because of that, it's going to allow me to see, I don't necessarily say the world differently, but it's going to allow for me to step out on faith a little bit more and, trust the next step that I'm making. Sometimes, especially in business, when you're trying to go out there in these different spaces, in these different worlds, it's scary. You don't really want to take that step, but because of these things I've done around me to build myself up, I'm prepared to be able to step and still land on my feet versus step and land on my face. So
Sometimes it's okay to land on your face. So I don't even feel like it needs to be like that's like a mandatory thing. I think sometimes you do have to step out on faith.
no, but you keep landing on your face, you either not gonna get up or you're not gonna step no more. So you got to be able to land somewhere a few times for you to be like, okay, this is still worth the risk. You keep stepping out there and you just falling flat and it ain't working, you just gonna stop. So we've been able to build some stuff around us. So I'm thankful for that. I think 2025 is going to bring opportunities for us as a family and as Boss Fest that we didn't really see coming, but possibly wanted. So, can't wait to see what that brings. I know we tried our best to maximize the hell out of 2024. So I'm not going to go into the next year talking about some 2025 is my year because shoot, the way we maxed out 2024. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be honest. Since you said that, when people be like, "Man, 2025 gonna be the year for me," like 2025 gonna hit like whatever year it is, they always do that. I just hate that so much. It's like the new year, new me. I'd be like, why y'all couldn't have been new last year? Like, can we stop saying that?
No, we're never gonna stop saying it. It's almost it's like a turning of the page. It's like a new cleansing. So it's gonna happen. It's a fresh year. So it's like, hey man, all the mistakes I made last year, I now have a chance to not necessarily erase them, but learn from them. And this is my new starting point.
So we gotta be like 2025 gonna be the year for me.
People gonna do that.
And then like we in January 3rd. Ah man, that's okay. 2026, I'm gonna get it.
Man, listen. I'm gonna tell you, like a lot of people was very grateful for 2024. It was like, man, 2024 gonna be the year. But then Cat Williams went on Club Shay Shay in January, and it was just like, up.
I feel like since you said that, I have had a Cat Williams type of year. Did he go on January?
It started in January.
He set the year on fire in January, and I feel like that's what it's been doing ever since.
Hey man, hey. So we had a Cat Williams type year.
Think about it. I just feel like it has been a very
it done
on fire,
it done exposed some
uplifting
things, and we done built some stuff. We didn't have to explain the story.
Tore some stuff
down. Yeah. Shit.
2024 has been our Cat Williams year.
Year of the Cat. There it is. Oh, that's what I'm gonna change the title to when I post this. Year of the Cat.
I don't know if you should do that because
whatever. I'm gonna do something.
I'm not gonna go with
you
that.
Always hating on anything.
I don't know, because if I look at something and be like the year of the cat, I'm gonna be like, what is they selling on that podcast? So I just don't think that should be the title.
You might click on it like this sound crazy. What is this?
Just be careful what you title things. That's all I'm saying. I don't agree with that. But I can say, as far as 2024, I think it has been an exciting year for us. And even as we unwind to the end of the year, there are still more things happening. And I think it's important for people to protect your peace. So you're saying like, watch who, you bring to the table. Watch who you surround yourself with. And then there's certain people that I would say I've learned a huge lesson this year, which I guess is off topic, but certain people you put in categories, right? And don't be so quick to categorize someone, especially based off what somebody else had to say about them. Because I feel like that's a huge thing where maybe someone didn't have a good experience with someone else, and so they want to tell you about it, and you be so quick to put people in a category because of that. We should stop doing that.
That's never gonna stop happening. Listen, we just went through a whole election because we categorized people, and now half the voting population is divided because this candidate won or this candidate lost or whatever. So I think that's gonna always still play into that space of we're gonna put people in these categories and we're gonna judge them. I am just now saying to a point, listen.
So we just can't never stop judging people and find out for ourselves.
Sometimes we may not ever really interact with these people. So if I never have an interaction with them, then my opinion of them may be based off of someone else's.
Right. But then you now base the opinion on this person that is totally like biased and unfactual.
It doesn't mean it's not factual. It just means it is biased because I don't
Yes,
have their
because this person
perception.
could literally tell you just some straight up BS about them.
Absolutely.
Maybe that person is set out to just, they're the fake friend that you invited to Thanksgiving who just doesn't want you to be successful. And they know if you get with this individual that y'all gonna set it off, but they're doing whatever they can to separate that.
Hey, I'm not disagreeing, but I think until you actually interact with those people, you're going to live in that biased world. That's human nature. If someone has the ability to influence me, it's because I've put them in a particular place, right? I've given them a certain status. I'm not saying that I'm holding them to the utmost high, but at least from a standpoint of interactions,
That's powerful. Watch who you allow to influence you.
I have at least stated that, hey, at this point in time, you have not said or did anything that I felt like has been detrimental to the way I want to move. At least it hasn't been discovered yet. Some people hide that shit for a while. Like, hey man, y'all think y'all making moves together, and then all of a sudden you walk around like, dang, that's what they doing behind my back. They saying this, they saying that. Okay, cool, no problem. I wish them luck, but I can't move like that no more. But it takes time to get to that place. So until you can actually break free of those things, you is going to live in that biased space. That's all I'm saying. You think you can do differently? You think that
No, I'm just processing like this what you said. And I mean you definitely said some powerful things there. Like until you uncover that the person who is giving you that information is a snake, they have some influence over you. So
may not even necessarily be a snake. It just may be that, hey, their perception of certain things may not be the reality.
you're right. I shouldn't say snake because somebody will give you bad advice just because they're fearful themselves. And it's not that they mean you any harm. They're just afraid of what that looks like.
And that might even be worse than the snake. The person that's holding me back because of their own fear. The snake is stopping me because let me say this, not the snake. The hater may be stopping my progress because they don't want to see me shine or become bigger than them. Eventually, that's going to come out because you're going to be able to feel that hate. But somebody may be projecting love and safety upon you, but it's their own fear and insecurity that's holding you back. You be like, man, dang, I didn't recognize it as that because I thought it was you protecting me. But I didn't realize it was your own fear that you're now projecting on me.
Can you always sense when it's a hater? So like you saying eventually you're gonna know. So like when do you find out it's a hater?
I don't know. No, it depends. So I think you find out you got a hater in your mix when the opportunity comes about for one of y'all to advance, right? And what I mean by that is, let's say there's an opportunity for them to gain some momentum, but you are the gatekeeper of it, right? And it's like, hey, do you give them
so somebody let's put this in an example.
Okay.
Somebody tells me, hey, I got an opportunity for Kevin. He could, like blow up, but he gotta have his own podcast. Can you facilitate this meeting of the two of y'all? And then I just never tell you.
That.
Okay.
Or
so all right, somebody had told me that you could get your
so whatever. And I even do another one. So there was some opportunities that came to us, right?
No.
It's
I
really
was like, oh Lord, I got me a hater.
No.
What you talking about?
No, so there was an opportunity for some people in the Polk County area to potentially be on a reality dating show, right?
Oh, okay.
Right. And the people reached out to us because of what they saw us doing with Bossfest and the different events, and they wanted a particular audience, right? They wanted to find successful minority men, Black men, Hispanic men, things of that nature. Single.
We got it. Okay.
So let me tell my story without you always interrupting.
Because it'd be taking so long. I'm like, I want to hear about the story. Like, let's go.
Whatever. Free. So
now I'm not gonna hear the story.
because you just need to be quiet sometimes. I know it hurts your feelings to be quiet. Like, just stop. Sometimes you can just stop. But the opportunity was presented to us, and it was like, hey, do you know anybody? In that moment, I really couldn't think of nobody, but I said, you know what? Let me just process it for real and dig in my bag. I went through my phone. I told my wife, look through her phone, see if she had any contacts. We don't really interact in a single people space because, they just don't really do much for us. But the few people that I did know, I was like, let me send this information out there to them. Blah, blah, blah. Whether they gained something from it or not, whether they reached out, whatever. But that was something that came across my plate that could have gave them opportunity to potentially get exposed, especially if some of these people may be in the entertainment space, and we know how you do this one thing, get visibility, and now it promotes this other thing you're doing. So I was like, okay, let me just throw that out. But let's say we would have known that somebody could have came to us like, man, are you looking for something like that? And we just kept that information to ourselves because we don't got nothing to gain from that, but we just hold on to that. That's what I'm saying. Like, eventually, if those people would have came back around, like, oh, I told the people from Bossfest, da 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 da. Oh, they ain't tell you. So I think eventually, could that possibly have came out? Maybe, maybe not. But that's just a light example of something. Since it took so long,
fair enough. I got it. No.
Yeah.
So I think we get it. I guess the end result is, keep
what?
Keep the right people, I guess, close to you. And once you find the people,
you ain't gonna never know who the right people is. I'm gonna tell you, keep cycling through people. Like, keep the right people. Is you can do the best you can, but sometimes the right people may be the wrong people in this moment. I believe that. Like, sometimes you may have to get close to the wrong person to finally get close to the right person. Just don't compromise yourself. But hey, I think there's a lot of times in certain places we're like, man, I don't really want to interact with these people, but these people may have access to this, which may benefit us or benefit the business. So let me just play in this space for a little bit. This ain't really where I like being or where I like going, but hey, this may be an opportunity. Play in that space. Just that simple.
Fair enough.
So we ain't inviting nobody to our house for Thanksgiving. We just the Scrooges of Thanksgiving. Yeah, we ain't finna walk around in sweatpants and a bonnet. And she acting like she don't always walk around with sweatpants and a bonnet. Like, that was just gonna be a new outfit that day, like it was Halloween or something.
Oh, well, no, but what I'm saying is sometimes I have to get dressed and
never.
Yeah.
You never got dressed.
For Thanksgiving, that's not true. I have. We've
Only
had
when
different people over, and
when we left our house, it's the only time you might have put on what is
basically
good dress?
what I mean, like
a jeans and a
shirt,
t-shirt,
right? But no bonnet. I mean, you still,
so you didn't even get dressed. You put on clothes.
The point that I was making, though, is I am just looking forward to relaxing. That was the whole point, regardless of what you're doing.
I'm glad you now have the opportunity to relax. I'm happy for you.
So either way, we definitely wish everyone has a very happy Thanksgiving. We definitely appreciate y'all joining us this Wednesday on a Bossfest podcast for sure. Keep those that mean you well close. And as Kevin says, keep cycling through people. But either way, FAFO, we'll mess around and find out. That's all I got for you.
All right. So listen, before we close it out, remember, like, share, and subscribe to the Bossfest Podcast. You can catch us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you go hit that subscribe button on YouTube as we grow that audience. Check out the Bossfest Unfiltered Conversations, where me and Edwina are going to be getting a little bit more into each other's chests a little bit as we grow and expand. You're going to see more things coming out from the Bossfest family. So stay tuned for 2025. And with that, I guess we out. Peace.